Alright, I was going through my prompt ideas and I really couldn't think of anything to talk on. So I'm really going off the dome right now. I'm probably gonna cut like the silence that I'm gonna take to think about it. I turned 27 yesterday. Maybe we'll talk about like differences between Bay and LA, or NorCal versus SoCal. So I went to LA yesterday for my 27th, and I live in the Bay Area, but I just go down there because I went to college there a few years ago, and I have like some friends there, and I also got a tattoo yesterday. So I think LA is a very fun area. There's like a lot of differences that I like about it, and we'll just get into them. So the one thing I like about LA and SoCal in general, not just like LA, is I think there's more diversity in what careers people go into. Like, I swear to God, everyone in the Bay Area is just in like STEM, and specifically just tech. Like, half of the people that I went to school with and like most of the people in my friend group are all just working in like tech. And if you're like a creative in the Bay Area, it's like, I feel like you have to work a little harder. You have to try to find people like that are in the similar space, and it's very hard to find people like that, at least in my experience. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. But just like all the people that I meet and talk to, for the most part, are just in tech, and that's great because like obviously, yeah, that's where I'm in the Silicon Valley. But I feel like when you're in LA, like a lot of the people that I meet like are just doing such interesting careers. It's like specifically like film or like music or content creation, things like that. You know, it's just a bit more interesting, I think. And yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I think tech bros are a little insufferable at times. Like they just come across like very elitist, in my opinion, and they're just not very fun to be around. Like, I feel like everyone's about status in the Bay Area. Like, okay, that sounds inaccurate compared to like LA. I know LA people are about status too. I guess what I mean is like, people in what's it called, the Bay Area, they're very like money oriented. I think LA is more about status, but money is like king here. Like, people will just be flexing the shit out of it, but like they flex it in different ways compared to people in LA. I feel like LA is all about like aesthetics and like appearing rich, you know, like slight flexes and things like that, things like material. But like in the Bay, people are just like, oh, I dropped like $1 million on crypto the other week, or like I dropped like 50K on crypto this week, just like for the fuck of it, or oh yeah, I got like 3 Cybertrucks or some shit, you know, like just they flex in different ways. And at least in like LA, I think when someone is rich, at least they're kind of like interesting. But when someone is rich in the Bay because of like the money they made off tech and shit and like investments, it's like they're not really interesting. Like, you have a lot of money, but like you're very boring. And I'm overgeneralizing, so don't hate me if you're from the Bay and rich. I still have a lot of you friends, like, but yeah, that's just like my experience like with the people here. And yeah, it just feels like very elitist a lot of the time. And I feel like in LA, a lot of the people that I met who like maybe became rich, like I feel like there was a time where they were like really grinding, like with server jobs and like these shit jobs, like. But I feel like a lot of the people in tech, like they already had money and they just became richer. Like a lot of them came from like rich families and stuff, and like went to good schools, and like very like gradual growth of income. And I could be totally wrong. It's just my experience. So I'm really not like trying to generalize here. I'm just yapping. The second thing I like about LA over the Bay Area is I just like the the city planning, or like how things are spread out. Like in the Bay, everything is like everything that's like interesting is kind of condensed into like certain areas, like SF and like San Jose, and then like everywhere else is kind of just like nothing. Like East Bay is like kind of nothing, Central Bay is kind of nothing, just like houses and shit. I mean, there's always good food everywhere, but there's really no like fun shit going on. And there's no like art to look at in the streets. It's just like very like flat and boring until you get to like SF or like maybe San Jose. And in LA, like I feel like even the Valley where like I was staying at is really like fun. Even the Valley is supposed to be like suburban and like not really LA. But yeah, even in the Valley, there's like a lot of fun bars that are open late and like, yeah. But besides the nightlife, I'm really just talking about like how the city is like planned out. I know LA has its own problems, but like you could like, it's not as like car reliant either. I mean, here in the Bay, you have to like drive like all the way to SF if you want to like go to an event or something, like something fun, like a concert or something. But LA, just like, it's so dense, so they kind of have like interesting places going on like all around, like even in the quiet parts of LA that like aren't downtown and stuff. I really like Alhambra. I think Alhambra is fun. That's where I was yesterday. But yeah, like just here in the Bay, everything like closes early. It's very like quiet. It's very like chill. Which there's a time where I like that. I enjoy that. I enjoy like not sitting through traffic all the fucking. I mean, I still sit through traffic, but it's not as bad as LA traffic, you know. I can still like go 80 and like get pretty far. Whereas like LA is like sometimes like driving through that shit, you feel like you're going nowhere. But I'm saying like there's a lot of fun places even if you're in like quiet parts of LA. Like it doesn't feel as like boring. Like there's not as much of like suburban hell, you know. But that's about it for now, because I was like that's about it for now. I'll probably make another video on this. I didn't really like fucking enunciate my points really good. I might not even post this, we'll see. I'm probably gonna piss off, if anyone fucking watches this, I'm gonna piss off like a bunch of Bay Area people. But I'm from the Bay, so like don't get too mad at me. It's just my opinion. I still think like maybe I'll do like things I like about the Bay more than LA. But yeah, that's about it for now. Peace out.